Hi world, it's the 17th of January 2025. It's a Friday, I believe. I'm still recovering from the new year. This video is going to be quite astrology heavy. Okay, but first I've got a request. A number of you have commented on how you either like or dislike the blue screen behind me. This is the first time I've really worked with a Mac. And I'm using Photo Booth. And when I got it, I pressed some buttons and got this blue screen up. And I thought, oh, that's nice. And now I can't get it back. I've spoken to a number of my techie friends, and they've done, oh, let's try this download. Let's try this upload. Let's upgrade. Let's get rid of it and reboot it. And nothing's worked. So if there's any Mac geniuses out there who saved me spending a lot of money by going to a Mac shop, how do I get rid of this blue screen of death behind me? Emails welcome, please. Now, the astrology. I'm already on record quite a few times in recent weeks about talking about the big conjunction that's coming up at the end of March and the start of April. And the closer we get, the more concerned I'm getting about it. We will have a week and a half of Venus conjunct Saturn by less than 1 degree. We will have a week of Mercury conjunct Neptune, less than 1 degree. Neptune will be conjunct the North Node, as will Mercury, as will Venus and Saturn, and all 5 planets will be within 5 or 6 degrees of each other for 2 weeks. This is a very large conjunction over a long period of time, and it points to a monumentous and immense time of human development and human history. It's not particularly auspicious because it's happening at the very end of Pisces, and the very end of Pisces is the end of the zodiac, which is why I'm thinking that this is one of the stage posts for the end of the age of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius, which I believe will be truly symbolized by the movement of the outer planets into the air and fire signs, which is happening over the next 12 months. This period at the last 3 or 4 days of March and the first 7 or 8 days of April will be focused primarily on the eclipse or the partial eclipse of the Sun on the 29th of March in early Aries. So I've been looking at all this and thinking, I don't like this. Something's going to go down. This is a humanity challenging event. It could get really messy. Ooh. And then I woke up and I thought, where's the positives? There's got to be a positive. There cannot be just all negative. Now we have a retrograde Mars at the moment. Mars is retrograde at Cancer at 25 degrees. I was born with Mars conjunct Uranus at 24 and 26 degrees of Cancer. So the retrograde Mars at the moment is passing directly over my Mars and my Uranus. I am not being my normal, gentle, subtle, sophisticated self. I'm being a little bit sharper, a little bit more focused, but I'm getting a lot done. I'm also not suffering fools gladly at the moment, and I'm trying to work on that one, honest. However, I started thinking about this Mars retrograde. I've been focusing on this Mars retrograde for a long time, since September, October of last year, and its opposition to Pluto, which has now occurred twice, and will occur for the 3rd time at the end of April. But Mars is going to go retrograde back as far as 17 degrees of Cancer. And it will stand still at the end of February at 17 degrees of Cancer. I suddenly thought, wait a minute. Saturn's at 15 degrees of Pisces. It's going to be at 17 degrees of Pisces at the end of January, 21 degrees of Pisces by the end of February. And I've checked it out, and as of now, well, as of a week or two's time, certainly as of the end of January through to mid-late March, Mars is going to be trining Saturn. And during this time, Mars will also be trining Venus when Venus stops going retrograde in early April. And throughout this next month and a half, 8-week period, Mars is also sextiling Uranus. So let's break this down. Mars deals with your physical vitality. It's the god of aggression, warfare and violence, as well as bravery, heroism and courage. It's the way you use your physical energy, whether it's down the gym, in the bedroom, walking the dog or digging the garden. Mars doesn't particularly like it in Cancer. Very good at knocking kitchens down and rebuilding them. Very good at house building and home building. But Mars is a hot, feisty, fiery, dynamic, projective planet. It's the planet that deals with being projective and assertive, and hopefully not confrontational and aggressive. Cancer is a water sign, a shallow water sign. It deals with the rock pools and the edge of the tides. So Mars in Cancer tends to sweat a lot and steam and get hot under the collar. It's not the best place for Mars. But now Mars is retrograde in Cancer. Saturn in Pisces is a bit of a weird one. Every time Saturn tries to bring structure and order into something, the nature of Pisces just dissolves it. So Saturn gets quite frustrated in Pisces. And Uranus in Taurus, Uranus wants to bring change and revolution and upgrade and innovation. And Taurus is like, no, let's stay the same. I like stability and convention and orthodoxy and a good meal and lots of money. I'm being deliberately a little bit provocative here. So all three of these planets are in signs that they're not really that happy with. But the aspects between them over the next 8 weeks are all actually very good. Saturn and Uranus are coming into sextile now, and they're going to be sextiling each other for the next year. A sextile from Uranus to Saturn suggests a kind of transforming of one's boundaries from concrete and steel into rubber and elastic, whilst a sextile from Saturn to Uranus suggests bringing order into an element of order into the chaos. But to have Mars there as well in the coming 2 months, Mars trining Saturn is going to bring a degree of, especially in water signs, of emotional perseverance, resilience, determination and thoroughness to work through this. And Mars sextile Uranus is going to bring the ability to upgrade, adapt and revolutionize our ideas around feelings, emotions, sensitivities, habit patterns. We are heading into, at the end of Pisces and at the end of March and the start of April, a period that is going to change a lot of the global culture. We are seeing the exiting of Saturn and Neptune from Pisces, and this is going to lead over this next year to the end of what I see as the martyrdom, the victim mentality, the poor me syndrome. And all of these planets are going to move into Aries, which is going to be like, right, okay, let's do something about it. And I think that the Mars trine Saturn and Mars sextile Uranus of the next 8 weeks, in the background during this period of great change, is going to act as a bulwark, is going to act as something that's going to create a degree of not stability, but solidity in those individuals who are prepared to go, okay, right, the proverbial is hitting the fan now. How do I cope? Do I just hide under the blanket and hope it goes away? Do I go break down and hope someone else is going to handle it all and delegate my responsibility to other people? Or do I get up there and go, wait a minute, this is my world. I am responsible for my actions, my thoughts, my feelings. Let's do something with it. Because those people are going to be seen by everyone else as rock solid, icons of stability, and they're going to become leaders in the future. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So I see Mars as an unlikely saviour. I would never see Mars in Cancer as a saviour, but over this coming period of time, I think it is. 8 weeks no, what am I saying? 12 weeks, 13 weeks from now, this is over. This is the opening salvo of the movement of the outer planets into the new signs. And the first salvo is always going to be the most challenging. So, gird your loins, to quote an old saying from somewhere, and cultivate a degree of personal strength, self-discipline, self-belief, and self-confidence. One world, one planet, 8 billion different worlds. We're all responsible for the way we see things, and we're all responsible for our patterns of behaviour, the way we choose to act or react. Catch you later, world. Bye.